Well, hey friends, it's Miss O'Rourke again for another virtual chat. I am so excited to have Indiana Tech with us today. They've got some fantastic information for you, whether you choose to go to a satellite campus here in Bowling Green or go to their campus. So just buckle up, and I'm sure they're going to give you some great info. So I'll turn it over to you guys.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Destiny. This has been great, and we're so excited to share this information with with the seniors and juniors in the graduating class. My name is Brittany, and I'm actually from Bowling Green, Kentucky. And the office there is by the Hot Rod Stadium. So I work for the satellite campus in Bowling Green, Kentucky, as well as.
My name's Allison Dunn, and I am also an admissions rep at the Bowling Green campus.
And we also have the privilege of having someone else with us today.
Hi guys, my name is Zach Zumbaugh. I'm one of the admissions counselors at the main Fort Wayne campus for Indiana Tech in Northeast Indiana.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to get started. I'm going to kind of go through a little bit of the PowerPoints, and we're going to go through what it's going to be like for you if you are going to be on campus at Fort Wayne, Indiana, or if you're going to come join Allison and I at the location in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So we will go from there.
So for those of you who don't know, Indiana Tech is a private, not-for-profit, comprehensive four-year university, like I said, based in Fort Wayne, Indiana. A lot of students, when we say tech, will think trade school, or they will think just technical majors, not necessarily something that they're always interested in. That's not necessarily the case. Tech does include a lot. We think of everything as tech, and tech is everything. So that includes majors in business, criminal justice, communication, things like that as well. It's very career focused, very hands-on learning, accredited by the Higher Learning Commission. And then we have our website too with all of the information that we're going to share today that you're always welcome to check out afterwards as well.
Absolutely. So a little bit about education pays. You know, we kind of all know this as far as once you graduate high school. This chart just shows you a little bit as you go further up with your education, how the employment rate decreases. So just kind of a quick run through for you for the difference from having just your high school diploma or even going up to an associate's versus a bachelor's degree.
So when we talk about learning the way you want to learn, like I said, Brittany, represents that Bowling Green campus. We do have regional campuses for Indiana Tech where students can take classes there. It's also for our online program, or students can go the traditional route and take classes, stay on campus, or commute to our Fort Wayne campus as well. So we're just part of the overall team and network of people that's there to help you along the way. We're going to next talk about kind of the differences between the what we call traditional day up in Fort Wayne and then the CPS program at some of those regional campuses.
Absolutely. And as he said, there's over 18 different satellite campuses. So there's options for you guys if you wanted to go somewhere else. We also have like a Louisville campus in Kentucky. So it just depends on what you want to do and your college experience.
All right, so Path of the Warrior for an on-campus student. These are some of the basic stats that I usually lead with when I'm introducing a student or a family to Indiana Tech. Indiana Tech overall is smaller than you may find, especially at some bigger state schools, places like Louisville or places like IU or Purdue here in Indiana. We only have about 1,500 undergraduate students. Average class size is about 17, so it's probably going to be fairly similar to what your high school classes are, which makes that transition a little bit easier. Definitely makes it more of a personal relationship with professors, personal working relationship with professors, and just keeps it from getting too overwhelming for you. Resident versus commuter, we are technically a little more in the majority for commuter students, but that's just because we get a lot of local area students to join in. We do try to add some diversity in as well. About 11% of our students are international and they come from all over the world. And we do have a good portion of our students as well who attend Indiana Tech from out of state. So just some of the basic stats to introduce you to Indiana Tech as a university. All right, so I mentioned some of the undergraduate degree programs. Obviously, engineering is going to be a big one. We were founded as an engineering school back in 1930. And obviously that's one that we keep a good focus on. We're actually accredited through some of those concentrations, as you can see by ABET, which is the same accreditation level as places like Rose-Hulman and Purdue, which are, again, heavily focused in engineering. We also have business opportunities for students, again, accredited as well. And it varies, you know, from there it's criminal justice, some of the other options, forensic science, which is a fairly new major, biology is also fairly new. I mentioned communication, psychology, and exercise science are also popular, and pre-law. So, you know, we try to offer as many as we can to, you know, to cover our bases sort of, but also just, you know, give you the opportunity to study what you want in a place that you feel comfortable. We want to make sure we give more than just what students might assume are tech-related majors here at Tech.
Right, and most of our programs can be done completely online.
Very true, very true. So there's also support and student success resources here. On the Fort Wayne campus specifically, I work with a lot of other staff members and faculty members as far as these offices go. It includes our Office of Student Success. Big thing there is a tutoring center. There's also guidance. Every student has an advisor through that office to help them through sometimes the struggles and just general stresses or process of transitioning from the high school curriculum to the college curriculum, and just the high school life to the college life, and what are the differences there. You know, a really underrated part of this whole process is how you're adjusting not only to classes, but just on a personal level. And we want to make sure we're giving you the people and the network, like I said, again, necessary for you to make that transition in a productive and positive way. We also have a career center. Like I said, we're very, very focused on hands-on learning, preparing you for whatever lies next. We're not just focused on, you know, the academics without an end goal. You know, we're always keeping our eye on the ball as far as what your end goal is and listening to you for what you're going to want. And then the writing center is always there to help as well if you have term papers or just assignments throughout the year. So those are free resources for students. They don't cost any extra. So it's just another one of the benefits of being a student here at Tech.
And we are going to talk more about this too, Allison and I will, when it comes to CPS or the satellite campuses. They get the same kind of good quality Office of Student Success, career centers, and all of that. So we partner with a bunch of people to make sure that even if you do take classes in Bowling Green, Kentucky and get your degree there, you are still able to get the tutoring and the careers and all of that stuff.
All right, so freshman housing. Another thing, when we say Tech, a lot of students don't assume that we have on-campus housing. We do. There are 2 residence halls for freshmen. One is called Cowflesh, the other is called Pearson. They have the same amenities. So we talk about card access to building, free Wi-Fi, free laundry, which is a definite positive. Hard to kind of tell now, but it's one of those underrated things you'll appreciate once you get to college. Free cable hookup, free Xfinity stream. The cost is the same for both of those residence halls. Like it says at the bottom, a first-year housing tour is available on our YouTube page. So if you're interested in seeing a little bit more in depth, one of our tour guides actually took a camera inside one of the rooms earlier this summer and talks about living on campus from a student perspective. So I definitely recommend checking that out.
Yes, and the laundry alone, that's amazing.
Yes. Don't have to work with coins, which is a huge pot.
Yes.
I'm even excited about that, y'all.
Right? Can we get that?
Oh, yeah, 100%. So yeah, and then Warrior Athletics. Another thing students wonder is, do we have sports? And the answer is yes. We have almost every major sport except for football and swimming, pretty much. So men's and women's, plenty to offer. All those programs have scholarships available. You know, up to coach, obviously. So if you are a student who's interested in the sport, I definitely recommend reaching out to coach. The sooner the better. Just introduce yourself, get to know a little bit more about the team and how the program's set up. And as you'll see on some of the next slides, we do have kind of a rich history as far as athletics goes and a good success rate in the NAI, which is, you know, not Division I. It's more comparable to Division III maybe, but still very competitive and definitely popular, especially in our area. So you can see some of those achievements, 63 individual national titles, over 800 over 850 All-Americans, 75 conference championships, just a lot to be proud of if you're an athlete on campus. So we're definitely excited, not only when, students who are interested in the academics come, and we, definitely want the student part to be first, but there's a lot to get involved with, including athletics here at Tech. And then we also talk about student life. So a big thing, especially here at the main Fort Wayne campus, is how many students there are here. And we want to make sure that we're giving you a reason when you're not in class or not in practice to still have a good time. So we start talking about events. We have over 145 every academic year that are put on. We have a state-of-the-art fitness center. We have the Maggie O'Connor movie theater, which, yes, actually does look like a movie theater, not just a screening room with a few chairs. We do have a bowling alley on campus. We do have a bowling team. That bowling alley itself is welcome to be used by any student when it's not maybe being used for one of the teams for practice or anything like that. We do have student organizations. I always recommend students, if you guys have passions, things that you like to do, hobbies, college is a lot easier if you continue to do those things you love when you make that transition. And we support that. So along with the organizations we already have set up, if you come to campus and you're interested in, say, a photography club, and we don't have that, all you need is, I think, 4 or 5 other people interested in that same thing, and you'll get the go-ahead from Student Life and Student Affairs to start up that club and make it your own. So we're always encouraging opportunities like that. We also have esports, and then there's plenty of great ways to get food on campus, including a main dining hall, all-you-can-eat style, Max's Bistro, which is a restaurant in one of our residence halls, open to all students. And we have a couple coffee shops, Starbucks, if anyone's a big Starbucks fan. I know that's usually a big draw. So
Yes.
definitely not going to go hungry here at Tech.
No, that's wonderful.
And then, it's worth talking about Fort Wayne as well. Indiana Tech is located just east of downtown Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne itself is the cultural hub of Northeast Indiana. It's the second largest city in the state. The nice thing about campus is it's a balance. We talked about how small and intimate campus is as far as building those working relationships with other students and professors. But right next door, we have this spread out city to explore. So it's home to the arts. It's home to great restaurants. We actually have a sheet here that will give visiting students that lists over 80 restaurants just in this immediate area to check out when they have time. We have entertainment, whether it's the Embassy Theater or the Coliseum where they host concerts, or Parkview Field. There's festivals happening all the time, especially during spring, summer, fall months, plenty of shopping options. And like I said, sports for the Tin Caps for baseball, Mad Ants for basketball, Comets for hockey. There's a lot of great stuff to check out, again, when you're not in class or not partaking in some of those extracurriculars we offer here on campus.
Yes, and I can attest to the dining, because every time Allison and I come, we always find something that we have to have when we come back. Latest is like a peanut butter pretzel pie from Connors. Phenomenal. So
Yes.
we agree on the dining.
So, and then now we'll kind of get into the financial aid part of the process. So I know juniors and seniors might be watching. Financial aid is something that usually comes up, especially for the seniors. This is going to be a major thing that plays into your decision. There's a lot of amounts here, a lot of numbers here. The main ones I want you to focus on is the tuition and the housing. These two amounts combined are going to basically form your per year amount to attend Indiana Tech. Like I said earlier, it is a private university, so there is no in-state versus out-of-state. The cost is the same for every student. That tuition per year is about $28,000, and then housing is a little more than $10,000 on top of that. So stackable, it's about $38,000 or $39,000 per year. Again, I know that sounds like a big number. I've had many students worried about that cost going in. They love campus, they love the people. They're wondering, can I afford Indiana Tech? Our average financial aid offer that we usually get for students is about $24,000 per year. I've seen offers that will even exceed that, or even offers that cover the entire cost for a student to attend. So I just recommend, and this goes for any school, go through that financial aid process if you really do love the school, because you never quite know what that amount's going to be for you and how affordable it's going to be for you. And we're definitely willing to have that conversation. It's just a matter of you taking the steps to find out.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you.
And then we do offer scholarships is the other big thing. So if you are a senior this year right now, you can apply. If you have above a 2.0 on a 4.0 scale, you'll be accepted into Indiana Tech. And then you will receive what we call our merit scholarships. And that amount ranges from $5,000 up to $13,000. Obviously, there's the elite and the presidential if you qualify for those as well. And then we do have some partnership grants that came into play this year. So it may not necessarily apply to those living in Kentucky, but it's just one of those many ways that we do offer financial aid. And like I mentioned, athletic scholarships as well. If you are interested in the sport, form that connection with coach. He's going to be or he or she, they're going to be your go-to for when it comes to scholarship amounts. How do those get awarded? What opportunity is there for you to potentially receive an athletic scholarships? And those athletic scholarships are stackable onto the merits and whatever you'll receive academic scholarship wise. So definitely keep that in mind. I think the stat is 97% of all students who attend Indiana Tech receive financial aid. And like I said, all students who get accepted receive an academic scholarship. So, the aid is there. It's just a matter of going through that process.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then one of the last points here I'll bring up is early start. Seniors, you still have time for this, especially if you're a junior or an underclassman. We have our own dual credit program. It's $25 per credit hour or $75 a class. These are classes that can be taken online while you're still in high school. It's a lot cheaper than classes will cost if you actually decide to attend Indiana Tech down the road. Books are included. Basically, say you take 2 classes and you get C's or better in those classes. Not only will you get credit for them and you can test out of those classes coming in, but you'll receive a $500 scholarship per class, which will total $1,000. And then that $1,000 is going to be there each and every year you attend Indiana Tech. So it does roll over. So it's definitely a great deal, something we want to offer. Again, just another way, not only for financial aid, but a way to kind of put you ahead of the curve. And hopefully you'll be able to reach your career goals in your degree even quicker than you anticipated. So another great opportunity for students coming in. And the basic process starts with the application. Seniors, you can apply right now for free on the website. Juniors, you can apply right now. We can't actually get you accepted until you have 6 completed semesters on your transcript. So that would mean for juniors that we wouldn't be able to accept you until next July, maybe August, around that time. But again, I definitely recommend it. It doesn't commit you. It just gives you another option. Along with that application, submit your high school transcripts and any test scores that you have, but those are not required as of now, especially in this pandemic that we're still living in. Those test scores are optional. And then complete your FAFSA, add our code to it, and after that, we'll be able to show you what your award letter looks like and break down your cost to attend. And then if you decide to commit, you pay the deposits, attend one of our registration events, and we'll set you up. You'll be on your way. So.
Great. Thank you so much, Zach. Destiny, before we move on to our section, I just want to make sure you didn't have any questions or anything for Zach.
This is such great information. I appreciate hearing about the different aspects of campus life, and that free laundry thing was awesome. The movie theater right on campus, state-of-the-art workout facilities. I thought that was awesome. And also I appreciated hearing about financial aid and how such a large percentage of your students receive some kind of help. I do want to ask about early start. We are expanding our dual credit offerings at our school, and so I want to know sort of how to find out which classes are included in the early start program.
There is a full list of those early start classes on the websites, and a lot of those classes will cover what we call general education requirements. So there may be an intro to psychology or intro to sociology that a lot of students here, regardless of the major, will be required to take. So it's great that students have that opportunity to knock those classes out early, but the full list can be found on the website.
Okay, and then you mentioned the application is free, so students, man, that is great. It's no risk, just hop on in there. I love that you mentioned that juniors could go ahead and get a start on that, and so they're starting their admissions file, and then as they get that 6th semester requirement, they can sort of update that file until they have all the pieces you need to make a decision. Is that right?
Yes. So like I said, juniors can submit the application. We'll just wait to receive their transcript until it after their junior year is completed. But it's a good point you bring up, even for seniors who apply, say they're working on improving their GPA, students send in updated transcripts all the time throughout the year to see if it could potentially change what their scholarship could look like. They could potentially receive an increase in it. It just depends. So students who are working on improving your GPA always feel welcome to send us updated information if that GPA does get a little bit higher, and we'll reevaluate and see if you could qualify for maybe even more financial aid than we already offer.
That is awesome. Well, I can't thank you enough for that information, Zach. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we can move on now. I know with everything going on with the pandemic, there are a lot of people that are considering taking a gap year or two and doing online classes and staying home. So we would love to talk to you guys more about that and just kind of what CPS, which stands for College of Professional Studies, is and how we can help. So it's a convenient approach that's close to home. As Zach mentioned, it has a longstanding history of being in the forefront of a tech school. However, as he mentioned, tech involves everything. So we have programs ranging from engineering to psychology. There's over 45 different programs. But for us, for these satellite campuses, we have multiple locations through Kentucky, and the main one for you guys would be the Bowling Green, Kentucky office, which is down by the Hot Rod Stadium.
Right. And so Indiana Tech has high quality programs. We offer more than 45 career focused online programs from bachelor's degrees all the way up to, or we have associates up to PhD. So let me go back a little bit. That's from business administration, psychology, to cybersecurity and more. We have experienced instructors, and we have classes starting that last 6 weeks. And you only have to take one class at a time. So, you still get your same amount of classes in a semester, but you only have to focus on one at a time, which can be great, especially if you're working or you're working adult or whatnot.
Absolutely. And especially during that gap year, if you're looking to get your associates in just your general education and then transfer that in. As Zach mentioned, again, we are accredited. So those classes are going to be transferred into the university that you're going to, or for what would be more beneficial is for you to come to Indiana Tech University in Fort Wayne. So we offer support from start to finish, even on our satellite campus CPS side. With that, we have a network called the Warrior Information Network, and you can contact them and they will help you with that. We also have, with any questions that you have, we also have tutoring for tutor.com. And personally, Allison and I have reached out to a bunch of people in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and we're connecting with helping on the career side of it so that once you graduate, you have local people to help you find a career that you're looking for. Indiana Tech is affordable for students. As Zach mentioned, we have a lot of financial aid opportunities. So even for the CPS side, you would fill out your FAFSA and see what you qualify for. And the biggest thing I think is that textbooks are included. So they ship those directly to your house, and you're not having to worry about paying a tuition and then paying on top of that for textbooks. So it's all inclusive. As well as Allison and I are going to be your personal admissions counselors. And so we will give personal attention to you, even if that involves meeting you at McDonald's and helping you fill out the application or your FAFSA. Of course, we will be safe with the pandemic going on, but we will do what we can to help you and make sure that you get started and still have that hands-on feel for your college success. So this is just a kind of going over again what we said. It's 45 different degree programs. As Allison said, classes are always starting soon. Classes start every 6 weeks. And of course, the big thing, kind of like the free laundry, which is awesome. Textbooks are included and mailed directly to you. We have a bit of a flexible schedule for you so that we can figure out what best works for your needs. And that way, as you are taking the gap year or working from home or whatever you're needing to do to get your education, we can work with you on doing that. And then, the in-demand degrees that kind of go with what's going on in the world today and what you're going to need to know to have a successful career. You want to go?
Okay, so a little bit about the tuition. Our undergraduate and the non-engineering programs is $404 per credit hour, which comes out to be $12.12 per class. And as you go down, like the undergraduate engineering is $426 and $1278, and then the graduate programs with the non-engineering and engineering is $515, $1545, and then 557 and 1671.
And just as a little bit of comparison, that is going to be about under $45,000 for your bachelor's degree through the College of Professional Studies side, with books included. So that's just kind of something to throw out there for you to think about. And then speaking of cost, we move on to financial aid. And as we've mentioned, we do accept the FAFSA. Also, any kind of scholarships that you have and that you have found, we can look into those and see if we can accept those, and of course, private loan programs. And Indiana Tech is very military friendly. So their goal with almost every student is to help get them out as debt-free as possible. I say almost, I mean every student, but for our military population, we really work on that too and using benefits from that. So, you know, what do we need to do to take the next step? As Zach mentioned, our application is free. So you're more than welcome to fill out that application online at indianatech.edu. And we will get in touch with you if it's for our side, for the College of Professional Studies, and then Zach can get in touch with you as well. However, we are also going to give our information at the end. So that is Allison and I. We'll leave that up there for a second. Yes, we matched that day. I know, it's fun. How fun. Did we know we were getting our headshots? You'll never know. We just thought it was fun to look exactly the same. People think we're sisters anyway. And then here is Zach's information for you.
Yes, and I didn't mention it, but to all students, I am the counselor who works with students from Kentucky, as well as Tennessee, Virginias, Carolinas, and Southeast Indiana. So again, any questions, just let us know.
Yes, absolutely. And Destiny, if you have any questions for us on our end, we will be happy to take those.
Well, you all, I feel like you did a very thorough job explaining everything, and I appreciate that your offer to help students and to meet up with them and to help out in those ways. So I think that overall, we definitely know how to find you if we have anything that pops up, but I do appreciate your time so much. Thank you for all that you do for our students.
Well, thank you for having us. We'd be happy to help anybody.
Yep, thanks for having us. Appreciate it.